Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is January 10th, 2023. So I just want to say congratulations to all the people who decided to go with our pick and took the Georgia Bulldogs to win the national championship. And, this again, like I said in my last video, this is not a big deal calling Bulldogs to win because they did open up as 13.5-point favorites. But what I was trying to tell you guys in that other video is the way you can prove that these games are rigged and scripted and they're paying tributes to numbers is if you decode the game and then you watch the game and you look out for the numbers that you decoded. For example, we was talking about the number 17 and how TCU can possibly stay on 17 bowl wins. They pick up their 17th bowl loss. On the day with 17 numerology. And notice they only scored 7 points. And think about how 17 is the 7th prime number. Notice in the first quarter, the Georgia Bulldogs scored 17 points. You see how this stuff works? This is why, we can predict who's going to win the game. Now, if you got to understand, I don't make the lines, right? So what I was trying to tell you guys is just because Georgia opened up as 13.5-point favorite, that doesn't mean you have to take them at that price. You could have, if you're on FanDuel, they have options where you can bring the line down to a smaller spread. So what I was trying to advise you guys on in the video this morning was I felt like taking the Bulldogs to win by a touchdown was a better bet. Oh, they got the Georgia Bulldogs winning next year as well for a 3P. We shall see about that. But if you notice here, look, if you go to where it says more wagers, so the Niners are 10-point favorites over the Seahawks for the playoffs, right? Now, let's say you don't want to take the risk of taking the 49ers to cover that 10-point spread, but you know for sure that the 49ers are going to win. If you go down here where it says alternate spread, on the left, you see this is the 49ers spreads right here. You go all the way down, and let's say you feel comfortable with taking them to win by touchdown. All right? So you bring it down to 6.5, which brings the line down to a negative 184. Or if you like them winning by a field goal, which the price is still high, negative 460. But it beats this money line price because this money line price is 560. So you can search to see what option you like the most. This is where the ATS record comes into play, but the ATS record is not 100%. It is it is effective, but it's not something you want to just rely on all the time because it has a hit or miss to it, so it's not something that I will recommend to always depend on it because it's not 100% at all. So that's what I was telling you guys to do this morning. It says check Georgia Bulldogs to win by touchdown, and then we trying to figure out whether or not the game was going to go over. And you guys notice how Georgia went over by themselves. The over and under was at 63.5. They scored 65 points by themselves. It's crazy, but we was talking about the number 17, and then look, TCU only scores 7 points, 17-7 prime, and the Bulldogs scored 17 points in the first quarter on the 17-day numerology. And I was telling you guys how I liked that riddle. I liked the Horn Dogs picking up that 17th bowl loss on the 17-day numerology. And I don't know how you guys I guess a lot of you don't know how this stuff works, so. But I'm because I posted this on my community tab, and people was like, I don't like this riddle. I'm taking TCU, and I'm like, you don't like this riddle? You don't like this riddle? Come on, man. So if you guys didn't see the video that I did this morning, we talked about how Stanton Bennett, he was 28-3 as a starter for his college career. 28-3. And notice the game was on January 9th. His birthday's on October 29th. Now, from his last birthday, it's 73 days. This game was played 73 days after his birthday. And in Gematria, Georgia Bulldogs equals 73. Now, if you measure to his upcoming birthday, something that I didn't do in the video, but then I noticed it after the video was over. If you measure from the game to his upcoming birthday, the game was played 293 days before his birthday. So think about it. He became 29-3, 293 days before his birthday. And like we said, that's the 62nd prime number, and Georgia equals 62. So when I left this, I'm like, why so many people look? TCU with the win, with the W. No, it's TCU going to shock the world tonight. I'm like, why so many people like TCU? Like, you know how solid this riddle is? Like, you usually don't even come across riddles like this. A guy can become 29-3, 293 days before his birthday, and that number seems to be syncing up with the team he plays for. And his opponent, the starting quarterback for the TCU Horned Frogs, he was playing 62 days from his birthday as well. So I'm like, how you guys gonna go against this? I think a lot of you don't really know how this stuff works, and I get it. You know, a lot of you are probably new to the work. So, but this is money in the bank. I mean, when you see a riddle like this, I don't know, TCU. Boy, if you had TCU tonight, I know you broke a couple of furnitures in your house, if you saw my video this morning and took my advice, you guys should be very happy. So the first thing I said was that I didn't like the fact that Georgia was a 13-point favorite. So my advice to you guys were to wait until the game starts and hope that TCU scores first. And I didn't watch the game, but they did score in the first quarter. Let me see if they scored first. Let me see. Because I didn't watch the game at all. I just saw the ending. Look up the play-by-play. Oh man, I can't find it. I can't find the box score for this game. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out how did the sequence go. Did the Horned Frogs score first? Maybe somebody who saw the game can tell me. Actually, I could just watch the highlights. I'll watch the highlights and I'll let you guys know what I see.
Of Uber Eats orders were on time, but occasionally a kind errand dollar. Alumni base and enrollment has showed up in big numbers in LA. This is McIntosh, who's an excellent back running and receiving out of the backfield.
So by the looks of it, Georgia probably scored first. I think they scored first. Yeah, Georgia draws first blood. Okay, so Georgia scored first. So that didn't work out like how we planned it. Um, yeah, I was hoping that Georgia would have scored a second, but Vegas, they very smart. They are very smart motherfuckers. But hopefully you guys made some money today. Um, yeah, TCU was a trap. A lot of people fell for it. I don't know why. Yeah, G is the seventh letter in the alphabet. Absolutely. For another 7 tribute. So Georgie says he believes they're gonna sacrifice Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not going anywhere anytime soon. Michael Jordan might take him out at 76. Michael Jordan equals 76. They like that number. And that number has a lot to do with the NBA as well. All right. So, I mean, we spoke mostly about Georgia winning. We didn't really get into the TCU narrative because I didn't really see a narrative for them besides them picking up their 19th bowl win on 1-9. But yeah, I felt like that was weak. You know, this was the top riddle right here. This was the top riddle. Also today we nailed the Bucks on Patreon. The Bucks had a great riddle to beat the Knicks. 34 days after Giannis Antetokounmpo's birthday, and 156 days after their head coach's birthday. I always forget his name. Mike Budenholzer. Milwaukee Bucks in 156. Bucks equals 34. And of course, Giannis wears the number 34. Of course, he scored 22 points. Basketball equals 22. So they had a huge fourth quarter and outscored the Knicks by 9 points to take the lead, to take the win. And I think Bucks equals 11. Let me see. Yeah, Bucks equals 11. Knicks picked up their 11th home loss. They could also picked up their 11th home win as well. But they picked up their 11th home loss. Bucks equals 11. The Bucks win with 111. 34 days after Antetokounmpo's birthday. Money in the bank. So this was a good parlay. We had the Bucks and we had the Georgia Bulldogs. Can't complain. The Bucks were the underdogs in this game. Oh yeah, something else I want to talk about. I want to analyze this photograph. Tell me what you guys think, because I'm getting a lot of trolls, a lot of like people like, "Oh man, you're reaching." Like, look at the comments. Look, not everybody, but Kenny G. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. It's like one day you leave a good comment and you make me proud, but then the next day you leave stupid comments like you left today. I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, you can't see the obvious, my man. The stuff is fake, my man. It's just like how many examples we gotta show you, yo. You cannot see the obvious still. Like, he said, and he claims he works at a hospital. He says he asked look what he wrote. He currently working at a hospital and asked a doctor. Those machines behind his uncle are called intravenous infusion pumps, IV pumps, which are used to deliver medicines and fluids to patients when they can't swallow or are unconscious. As we can see, Damar Hamlin is not unconscious, and you can see on his right arm he is not attached to the pump. Okay, so what? What are you saying? With an awareness of sports injuries and how a hit of that magnitude can cause such injury, anyone saying the injury or hit is fake needs to be evaluated themselves. Like, this guy is a real sheep, yo. More than often, real live Trump's gematria. What? Not everything is scripted. Wasn't he supposed to die because gematria said so? Yeah, this guy's a real idiot. I don't know what's wrong with him. Okay, let me ask you something, Kenny G. If you're watching this, and since you work in the hospital, you know this is a fact, right? When you get admitted into a hospital, don't they place a wristband around your arm? So where's the wristband on Damar Hamlin? So I guess he didn't get admitted to this hospital because they never put the wristband around his wrist, right? The reason I said there's no machines turned on, that's what I wrote I asked the question, why are all the machines turned off? This is a patient who is in critical condition at ICU. Can anyone explain? Okay, somebody that was just unconscious, almost lost his life, who clearly has problems with his heart, don't you think that there'll be a machine attached to him, at least tracking his heart rate? At least there's no machine attached to Damar Hamlin, even keeping track of his pulse, of his heart rate, or anything. He has what seems to be like an oxygen mask around his nose, which is not even put on properly. It's not even attached to his nose properly. He has this thing taped around his wrist with I guess this is where the IV goes in, but you can see nothing is connected to his to the IV pump. He doesn't have a hospital gown on. He doesn't even have the wrist. When you get admitted to the hospital, they put an admission on the wrist on your wrist. You work at the hospital, you know what I'm talking about. It's a wristband with your name and who you are, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what you have to start asking yourself. This looks like he just sat in the bed in the hospital room and just took a photograph with his family members. This is what you call a photo shoot, right? At least one machine should have been at least tracking his heart rate. There is nothing connected to his body. Look for yourself. This is 100% a hoax. And if you can't see through that, then I don't know what to tell you. And then they coded love for Damar. What does that equal in gematria? Doesn't that equal 68? Like how Chuck Hughes died on the day leaving 68 days in a year, and Hughes equals 68, and we was talking about all the other 68s. Like this is a pure example of a hoax. Oh, keep in mind that the name Damar Hamlin is also 68. Like his uncle, Dorian Glenn. We was wrong about him dying on January 5th. I admit that. But think about what happened on January 5th, on 5/1. He supposedly woke up. Ooh, wow. And now he's back to 100%. Because now they supposedly moved him out of that hospital. I mean, this is the definition of a hoax, my man. This is somebody that supposedly passed away last week on the field. Somebody that wasn't breathing on his own. Like I don't know what to tell these people, man. These people are just not gonna get it. Listen, man, that guy could talk about me all he wants. I already told you guys that I'm not making any more videos about anybody. I'm not going to talk about anybody ever again. These people, they came after me. I responded. I'm not going to keep doing it. I mean, how many more videos do I have to keep addressing these people? You guys know what these people are about. I'm not about that. And that's it. There's nothing to talk about with these people anymore. They can say whatever they want. I just helped today a bunch of people make a lot of money with the Georgia Bulldogs. That's my mission. Expose what's going on and take some money out of the casinos because these people have been scamming us, and it's time we get some money back from them. So I don't really care what the rest of the people are saying. I mean, these people, think about it. You're on the mission to expose tyranny, and the people that are on the mission with you, you want to bash them and use your energy to take them down? Does that make any sense? Does that seem like somebody that you guys want to endorse? I mean, come on. Have I ever made a video dissing Shakosi Truth, Derek, Dan Barrett? I've never even mentioned those people in my videos, man. Unless I'm collaborating with them, that's the only time you hear me say their names. Those people are on the same mission as me. They are exposing the cabal. I don't have time to be talking bad about those people at all. Like, for what reason? Now, if somebody says something about me, I'll respond once, twice. But I promised my caller that day that I'm not gonna respond to these people anymore, and I'm not. Right? Yeah. So come on, Kenny G. I don't know what's going on with you. Like sometimes you leave a comment that makes me proud. I'm like, okay, Kenny G seems to be on board, but then he goes, "Oh man, that kind of everything is scripted." Like you fell for this shit. Man, you fell for this shit. And this is the thing about me predicting that he was going to die. Like, even if I was right, even if he would have died on January 5th, you guys would have found a reason to why that prediction wasn't that good. You would have been like, oh, he was in critical condition. He couldn't breathe. He passed away on the field. What did you expect? Oh. So it doesn't matter if he died or not. You guys would have found an excuse to try to like dismiss my prediction, so it doesn't matter. All right, so, but we did see what they did on January 5th. They're supposed to be, oh, a miracle happened. He woke up after the guy couldn't even breathe on his own. So I'll leave it there. If you guys are into sports picks and stuff like that, I always leave a link in the comment section, and I'm planning on. I'm gonna reach out to this football player. I keep messaging him, but he doesn't respond to me. I want to see if I could get him on the show. Let me see what's this guy's name again. He's talking about how he wants to expose the NFL. The guy Braylon Edwards. He's talking about he wants to expose the NFL. He has proof that the NFL is rigged. Blah blah blah. And I've sent him a lot of messages. I'm gonna keep sending him messages and see if we can get him on the show. So I'm asking him a couple of questions, and hopefully he answers them, and we can get to the bottom of all this. Because the more NFL players come out and expose the rigging, the easier it'll be to convince the Kenny G's of the world. Yeah, Zach is always gonna talk about me. Guys he's like my child. He's like a child that I never took care of, and now that he's 18, he wants to bash his father. That's what he reminds me of. All right, but you guys take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for always tuning in, for the support. Please hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't hurt. All you have to do is just click the little finger. Click. And more people be able to see this video. Shout out to everybody, and you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.